I've been with Money Insights now for a little over a year, I guess now, since the original policy with the investment optimizer started that, and I also contributed to the capital avalanche strategy. My experience so far has been great. I've worked mostly with Rod and Christian. I listen to the podcast pretty much every day on my commute in for work. So, um, and I'm a orthopedic surgeon by trade. I basically been looking into other alternative type of investing, whole life policies as well. I had some experience with other companies setting up whole life policies, and I really enjoyed the experience with Rod and Christian about setting things up, walking you through the process, learning the strategies, and then being consistent and staying with the client is pretty much routine for you guys. I think it's really one of the strong points of what you guys do. So far so good. It's been over a little over a year, and I'm really excited about the strategy. I think the thing I value the most, again, I would say I work with other companies independently on setting up whole life policies. And I think the way you guys sort of set up the policies in particular, in this client by client basis, you guys go through this and sort of walk through, okay, what are your goals and what ideas do you have about, using these whole life strategies for either cash flow, for retirement income, for, different ways to invest. And that's helpful because when when you talk to a representative from another company, insurance policy, they may not always sort of understand these things going into it. And life insurance is complex. I mean, you say it yourselves. It's one of those kind of deals where the way the policies are structured are important to what your goals are. And for me, it was investing, retirement income, cash flow, all the above, and asset protection, tax, advantages as well. So yeah, it's really one of the advantages. I think you guys have kind of, really done a good job of not only just offering the product, but explaining it, teaching how it works, and then sticking with the clients, because there's always a fear that you put your money down into the policy, and then next thing you know, oh yeah, I haven't heard from those guys, and that's it. And so I think that's really a strong point for you guys, and keeping up with clients and answering questions. Anytime I send you an email, you send it back, and you try to answer all of the questions I had, which were a bunch in the beginning, and to continue through the process. So I think that's something that you guys really do a lot, very well above and beyond a lot of the other companies I've worked with. I would say, at the very least, listen to the podcast, because if you go through the podcast, and you can, again, one great thing about podcasts is you can go back and check out old podcasts about the investment optimizer. What is it? What's the strategy? What's it all about? And then the capital ambit, what's that all about? You guys not only do superficial sort of overlays of things, you do deep dives. Okay. So you guys really go into the details of it. And then there's the YouTube, channel videos you guys are putting out. All this information is very helpful and very comforting to somebody who's just, okay, I'm coming into this, I'm not sure what exactly it is. And even when I explain things like to my wife and to my, other people about what's going on, I can be detailed about, okay, this is what, this structure is, and how it works. And then one last thing I will say too, about the way you guys have set things up, is the flexibility of, each client. There's a flexibility factor in all of these strategies that is really helpful, because I'm in private practice. I basically run a business. You have up years, you have mediocre years, you have down years, and that does, change sometimes, your flexibility as to how you may want to, allocate funds towards something. And I haven't felt like, okay, I'm signed on to something that, structurally I may not be able to do in 5 or 10 years, or 15 years. And so that's very helpful. I think the flexibility is something I would say that anyone who's interested in looking at whole life policies and just cash value based assets, such as you guys are using in your strategy, should look into that with you guys. Honestly, it would. I think there's a lot of people that don't either know about what these strategies are, and I think there's a lot of folks that have been scared off by other, when you hear about whole life used as an, some sort of investment strategy, there's a lot of misinformation, I think. And I do think it doesn't matter how the policies are structured and how you walk through and sort of say, okay, what do you want from this policy? And for some folks, it's legacy and just leaving something for their children, which is great. And some folks, it's, I want retirement income. I want more retirement. I want to be able to supplement my income towards my later years in my job. So I think that more people need to know about these strategies. It's useful, and I think it's great that you guys have a podcast about it. But there's a lot of different things out there, a lot of things on the internet, a lot of podcasts, a lot of things going on. And I always felt like you guys were at least very straightforward, honest. You weren't just trying to sell a product just to get someone to buy in and say, okay, that's it. So if that is something that more people knew about, I think more, as guys are growing, more people are coming to you. But I think even more people need to know a little bit about these strategies going forward. And I wish I knew about this maybe 10, 15 when I'm only 52 now. So, I still feel young. And, but I think if I would have known about this, at my 30s and 40s, I probably would have started then.